Hello everyone, we're just going to do some basic stuff with Walsworth today. So we're going to log on, or we're going to navigate to Walsworth Yearbook's website. Notice that there's an S. Also just going to go ahead and navigate to the Flickr website. We're going to be using that in just a minute. So I'll sign on to the Flickr website using our username, which is Westminster Yearbook, and then the password you can find in your staff handbook. There we go. Some beautiful scenes started out with. Okay, looking in here, we can go to our personal menu, which is labeled appropriately You, and typically we'll be able to find what we need in the album section here. So you'll notice that I have created a new album just for this exercise called the carbon copy exercise. By carbon copy, I just mean I want you to make an exact replica of the page, text, photos, headings, and everything. This is everything from last year, 2,093 photos, which I think accounts for 1% of our storage space, so we're doing okay. Have 1,000 years to go. Anyways, I'm going to click over here and just show you briefly what I'm looking at. There's my pictures. They've been pre-selected, and it's fairly easy to figure out what to do here. You just click on a picture, and then over here in the corner you have several symbolic options. And this arrow pointing down is your download option. Generally would say just download the biggest size available. We're not going to be hard pressed for space. And then go back to my Walsworth site. So we've got that on my computer now. I've got that photo waiting for me. And to tell you what I'll do is I'll stick it. I'm going to save this guy. Save it on my desktop just so that it's easy to find. Girl, name. So there we go. She's hanging out on the desktop. So there we go. I'm going to log on to the Walsworth website. So logging in here, I'm going to actually log in as Rebecca. Now, I just logged in as her using her old website. It's going to ask me to type a new website, and I'm actually going to just copy it and put it down there for the new one too. Rebecca, if you want to change that. Oh, it wants me to do something new. Okay. Let's just change it to... Password has been changed. Okay, I should definitely make note of that. I'll talk to you about that later, Rebecca. There's the new web password. Okay, this is just what's going to happen early on. Let's just do this. Where did you graduate? Of course, it'll be Westminster. Got everything ready now. Okay, good. So it opens up here. We have this. This is called the members only page. A few things about this page. It'll show you how many copies we've currently ordered, our page number, the size, the delivery date, required delivery date. That's May 5th, so just before we get to graduation. Your most important button here, obviously, is the biggest one, online design. So we're just going to click right there. We're going to start by uploading the photo that I just downloaded from Flickr. So we'll go to Photos. And here I'll be looking for my spot to upload photos, which is right there conveniently. Okay. It's going to say Choose Photo. I'm going to go to the desktop. There's the singing girl, and we'll go. I can choose my albums here, and there's my carbon copy exercise. So I'm going to go ahead and put it now. Always put photos in albums. It really helps with organization and editing later in the process. So here we go. It's complete. We're done. So we exit out of this window. Now, I'll go from here to back to just the basic online design tab, and I can select any of these pages, and all I have to do is click on them like this, And down the bottom right hand corner it will say edit spread. Okay, so here I am editing the spread. Now I'll tell you that there are a few things different so far about this layout. One is that all the junk is on the left and the right hand side, not on the top. Maybe that's better. I don't know. You guys can decide. The one thing that I have noticed is that there are far fewer options up here. This used to give us all kinds of adjustments and things, especially regarding these blue lines. This blue line right here is only about a pica away from what's called the gutter. That's the center line. And ordinarily we position photos over here about 1 pica away from what's called the bleed. That's the gray stuff. I'm working on finding out if that can be moved, but right now I haven't been able to figure out. So what we'll be doing is we'll be working from these reference points here on the outside edges, and we'll position photos from there and move them in. But for the time being, you're going to want to get rid of that middle line. So the way to do that is just to set this to 1 column. You'll notice it gets rid of that centerpiece, because that centerpiece is not going to be right for us since we are not using this full space in between the blue frame. Now, what I'm going to start with here is I go to Photo Tray at the bottom. Okay, that's going to give me access to all the photos. So it's telling me no yet. Let's look at the carbon copy exercise, and there she is. Okay, so a couple ways I can do this. One is I can go ahead and just drag this straight onto the picture if I want. It's going to show up. It's going to be enormous. Okay, so I could just grab it and drop it, and there it is. Hello. It's huge, right? Which is a little awkward. So probably there's a better way of doing this, and indeed, I'll just delete this for now. If I go back here, let's get rid of our photo tray, and I can create a shape. Okay, these shapes are like little picture frames, and if you get them close to these blue edges and let go, usually it snaps into place into that corner. That's pretty nice. Now in the handbook, you're going to have this page right here called Photo Box Specs, and it'll tell you all the different size dimensions of this kind of frame to give you proportional picture frames. So if you want 2/3 of the page to be covered by one of these frames, you would use this dimension right here. Now where this comes into play is on the other side of this page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink my photo page here, photo specs, so I can see both sides. All right, so there's my object. Here's my width, my height, and the X and Y refers to its position. Right now you'll notice that it is dead in that corner, which makes it 3 pica away from the edge. That's the Y. And the X coordinate makes it, that'd be the X coordinate. The Y coordinate is 3 down here. And the X coordinate means it's to the left, negative 43p6. I'm going to make this 2/3 the width of the page, and I'm going to make it 1/3 the height of the page. So this is how I was going to do it. I take the number 26p8 and plug that in to the width here. 26p8. The P stands for, by the way, for pica, and that is a standard unit of measurement in most typographical applications. If you're doing book editing and stuff like that, you know, you've heard of points before. Points are smaller units of pica, so 12 points equals 1 pica, and you've used 12 point times New Roman before. Well, that's 1 pica high times New Roman. Of course, it's referring to the capital letters, not the lowercase. So here we go. We want to make it 1/3 the height. So I go for 1/3. Go to the height column. It's 18p4 now. So I go back to my height over here and type in 18p4. Oh, not 4, not 5. There we go. And I've got it. All right. Now the problem is, if I try to insert this picture of this cute singing girl in here, it's not going to work so well because her picture was taken in portrait mode, not landscape. So I do have the possibility of editing or cropping that photo, and here's how I would do it. I'd go back to my picture frame and double click, and you see here I can do a little bit of editing, but still this is a full portrait photo, and it's a good portrait photo, so I would like to do something that's more portrait orientation. So let's see if we can adjust that. Instead of making it just 1/3 the height of the page, let's see if I've got any other options here. Sure do. I can make it a full 2/3 the height of the page. That means I can make it far longer than it is wide. That sounds like a good option. Let's see, 37p8. 2/3 the height of the page is 37p8. So I'm going to plug that in for my Ah, much nicer. Still got to crop it. Notice this blank area, so I just double click on it like this. I'm going to pull it up here. Now what I don't like is this blank space above her head. There's nothing interesting there. So I've got a lot of room to do this. I'm going to squeeze in and just get mostly just this girl. The process I'm trying to achieve here is called filling the frame. As much as possible, I want to eliminate empty and uninteresting space around my subjects. Now, if the space is interesting, like this stadium full of fans, you'd leave it. But in this case, it's not interesting. So I'm going to close it in. Oh, sorry, I just moved it there. Readjust a little bit. Probably a nice idea to keep, the space above her head, space over here. Keep it relatively even. Getting rid of some of that basket, but get that big microphone in there. Yeah, that's cool. And when I get it just about like I like it, click done. And there it is. Big, beautiful picture of the singing girl. Of course, I would begin to edit the rest of the page accordingly. I could insert another box over here. Get it close to this girl right here. Begin editing using the same specs I've done down here. Let's do another box here, but let's make this one, since this one was 2/3 of the page, we've only got 1/3 left, so let's make it 1/3 width, which is 12p10. There we go. And what are we going to do? Make it 1/3 high? I think that's 18p10, just because I've done this for a couple years. Yep. All right, now remember, we can't rely on these blue lines anymore. So we're going to have to do a lot of our arranging and such as we go. But watch this. I'm going to take this box right here, or this picture frame. I actually like it. I'm going to use it a bunch of times. So I'm going to go here and copy it. And then I'm going to use my paste function here, which I could also, notice, use Control V if I wanted to. But then I'll just do it with Control V that time. Let's see, Control V. Let's see, Control V. There we go. I was hitting Apple V. So I've got these pictures. Let's go ahead and just fill it up with the same photo here, just to show you what it looks like. I'm not even going to edit this time. Oh goodness, my pages. I lost my space, lost my view here. See if I can get it in there. There it is. Great. Okay, so you see this? I've got these things. They're all jumbled around together, right? And let's throw a couple more down there. Actually, I'm going to delete that. Now, by the way, if you're using a Mac and you want to delete a photo frame, you hit Function and the Delete key, and that's what will actually do it. I'm actually going to copy this guy. Okay, so I've pretty much got a full page's worth of pictures, but oh gosh, they're all clumped around. This guy got locked. You notice when I put it over here, I kind of let go and it boop, locked into the corner. Now, I can use this photo to help me position most of the rest of the photos on the page. And it goes like this. I go to the Layout tab over here. Okay, I select this photo, and I want to select it first because it's my anchor photo. I hold down my Shift key, and I select the other two photos that are kind of going to be in the same line with it. And I say, first of all, let's put these all on the same top line, which they're done. That's good. And then I want to space them out evenly. I can do that vertically, but that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in horizontal spacing, so I'm going to do it horizontally. But I also want to make sure that they're exactly 1 pica apart. So I'm not going to say auto. And watch this. Boop. See it moved just a hair, just a little bit. Now, that means this photo is exactly where it needs to be. That means it's 1 pica space away from this giant photo. So what I'm going to do now is use this photo to line up the other guys. This time I'll tell it, align everything on the left margin of that first photo I clicked. Watch me. Boom, here we go. And I need to space things out vertically now because this guy's smashed together here and not quite there. So I say space it out vertically, 1 pica again. Boom. That's problematic, is it not? Let's see. I made a mistake somewhere in here. Let's just check myself out. Let's see here. 1/3 height would be 18p4, Mr. Rich. That's 18p4. So let's go to these objects. I'm going to leave them all highlighted like this. That's brilliant. I can do it. Do this number. Go back to my layout feature. Say, do it vertically again, please. And look, perfect. Now the problem is I left these too tall. My memory did not serve me correctly. 18p4 is what it is, not 18p10. Come on now. All right, they're floating. It's okay. It's easy to get this down. I'm gonna go through the whole process again. Select the anchor photo first. Select the other two they're going to be based on it. Align them along the top. Space them out. Let's see, horizontally. And we have a perfect page. So this is a perfect page. It's been, all my lines are just spot on. Again, unfortunately, this blue line is no help to us, but I used the outside edges to do all my work, and I'm ready to go. So when you finish this up and you've got it the way you want it, I'm gonna come back later and maybe add some text. You're gonna go to File, and you want to save and close. That way you don't lose your work. All right. Well, that's it for today, and let me know if you have any trouble. Let's get to work.